Hello and welcome back to the Necromancer's Tale. We are going to the ball today. We're trying to grab some quicksilver to help a poor kid who's picked up a magical plague. And we also got to pick up our fancy outfit up at Sophia's so that we can go to the ball. Good morning, lad. You get time to make those clothes. A formal coat for the ball. Thank you. How much do I owe you? There's no need. It is my pleasure. That's what I wanted to hear. Oh, yeah. Look at that drip. Formal coat. I have a ball hat, but it is for a lady, so I don't think that works. I'm pretty sure the general store sold a fancy hat as well.
Welcome. Of course. The best prices you can find in all of
A feathered hat. Yeah, I'm gonna buy that. I also have the regular coat, but now I have a fancy coat, so. Oh, yeah, we're a dandy boy now. La -di 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 -di. Look how fancy we are with our feathered cap and our fancy coat. I wonder. You know what, man? I think I'm gonna buy this coat.
Welcome. Of course. The best prices you can find in all of Mart.
I don't want to spoil my outfit until it's time to go to the ball. We get some good red drip in the meantime. Call me macaroni. All right. We're going to... I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to the apothecary. I know this is risky. I'm looking for quicksilver. You know that quicksilver and related substances are banned by the queen for their use in necromancy. Oh, I heard it has medicinal properties. Before the wars, it did. I used it to remedy some particularly aggressive diseases. It's not the most gentle of cures, but the results are sometimes better than the alternative. So I can't acquire some? Not legally, and certainly not for me. Perhaps I could suggest an alternative. What do you need it for? Someone you know has syphilis. Oh, man. Honestly, I think I'm going to spend the skill points here, because the other option is I have to get it from the fishwife, and that's so damn expensive. Sorry to say that someone I know has contracted syphilis, and I worry if not treated soon. I'll not press for such a sensitive subject. Are you all right yourself? It's true that quicksilver is the best remedy, though often not enough. She looked thoughtful for several moments before nodding. You didn't hear this from me. Quicksilver is banned, but some people can acquire such things at the docks, such as Drago. Well, thankfully, Drago likes us. Raymond, Alphonse, Darius, Rebecca. Where the hell is Drago? Johnston, Alexi, Aziz, Yvette. God damn it, Drago. Why are you never around when I'm looking for you? Drago!
Excuse me.
Place is getting busy lately. Lots of new workers. Workplace ebbs and flows. The old man will be quick to get rid of them again, as he was to hire them when the winter arrives. Keep your head down. Hard work. You'll be fine. Someone suggested I talk to you about acquiring quicksilver. Well, that's legal. Who's saying I can get some of that? Not important. Perhaps you know where I could get some. Not me. You need a smuggler or something. Something as bad as that. The fish guard. I spent 2 skill points on this. I spent 2 skill points for someone to tell me go to the fish guard. Do you know where I could get oil of vitriol? for 4 crowns. Oh, god damn it. Unbelievable. Absolutely. Goddamn unbelievable.
How can I help you, boy?
You got quicksilver? I can get it. I have some ready to move. 7 crowns. Can't go any lower? No, but I could go higher. All right, whatever. Problem solved. Who do I have to bring this back to the witch? Yeah. Well, at least the gate's open at this hour. I can't believe how many skill points and money I just burned through. I had $60. I'm down $15. The amount of times I get fleeced for cash in this game is unbelievable. But I mean, I guess my guy is an idiot, right? Like, my guy worked in the military, but I didn't put like any points into being smart. My mental is really bad. Did I leave that body there? I sure did.
Child.
Oh, her pants just disappeared. I can make a cure from quicksilver. Blah, 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 blah.
Greetings, child.
Huh? Huh? Sorry, did I not just buy quicksilver? You said he'd send it over? Oh my god. One of these days. God damn it. Chapter 14 can't come quick enough. Back through the north gate. Teleport home. Go inside.
Can I help you, my lord?
Small package delivered to me, left in my chambers. Package. Took the quicksilver. Honestly, I might as well just go this way. Well, no, we'll go at the main gate. This hour of the day. I feel like the ball is the perfect time for them to like ransack my house. Go looking for skeletons, so that's okay. A quick little walk through the woods. It's good for us. Bit of fresh air, you know how it is. Sometimes you got to go out, touch grass, get the smell of undeath off of you.
Greetings, child.
I have the quicksilver. The witch turned, a gnarled hand darted out from her, beginning the transformation into the hag. Shoved aside by the hand, the previous form melted into darkness like sludge falling off the bone. The familiar face of the crone emerged from somewhere beyond. She snapped her bony fingers in my direction. Well, give it here. She swiped the vial from my hand, and the moment it came into view, her other hand stirred something in the cauldron beside her. She unstoppered the vial of quicksilver and poured it into the concoction. She shooed me away as great white smoke boiled over the cauldron. Let it roll on the floor and out the door. One whiff and you shall lose yourself in due time. She continued stirring for several minutes and scooped the now glowing mixture back into the vial before returning it to me. Rub this cure on the wound. It'll hurt, but the creature will be freed from the magical bindings. You must still kill them another way, lest they devour all they touch. What? You must still kill them another way. The hell does that mean? Lest they devour all they touch. I guess maybe she just means like the plague will still devour everything. Preparing the medicine will take the rest of the day. Go back through the other gate. Don't you dare. Don't you dare put that evil on me. Not after I bought this fancy hat. I guess I did spend $6 on this outfit, so. Where are the children? Are they in school?
Hello, dear cousin.
As the wood burns, the phlogiston is released into the air, growing plants and absorbing it to become phlogistated. The children appear disinterested in the finer points of modern chemical theory. He paused his lesson and spotted me. I wanted to get the children a treat, but the baker has always run out if I try to go out of class. I'll be right back. Before I could respond, Lucas stepped out the door. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I knew you were a coward. Maybe I should beat some courage into you. The children's whispers grew louder the moment Lucas was gone. Mr. Turk, I need your help. I need it. See, this merchant found we sometimes steal stuff here and there, and now she offered to pay us if we snatch something for her, only no one's really leading us no more, so we're just arguing. Where's Robin? We could pull it off, though. They were vulnerable, and this was an opportunity. I was certain Leland could lead them with the right push. They would become obedient and content with their lot in life, useless to me, but fine citizens of Rulestein. Robin had led them for years, but lost their trust. If she could taught how to retake control, loyal and talented thieves had many uses. The others were unfit for the role. Peter was too oblivious, Ida too soft, and Nick too rebellious. Oh yeah, no, I'm going to support Robin and lead them down a dark path that could prove useful. Robin, you think the group should work for this merchant? Yes, sir. Well, then come here. Tell them why, earn their trust back, and I will support you. Robin took a moment to compose her words thoughtfully. We're thieves, we's good at it, and why shouldn't we keep doing it? You just want to boss us around again, don't you? You should listen to her. I had their rapt attention and saw the deep trust I had earned reflected in their young eyes. I have neutral trust. Every one of you has something taken from them, something more than gold, more than a crown. Why shouldn't you take something for yourself? The world owes you, and the only way you can claim it is if you support each other. Hell. Okay, boss, I'm in. The others nodded in agreement, putting the same trust they had in me and their new leader. The choice was made, and the orphans now faced their future together. I gained a potential tool, but guided innocence into a path of darkness. I suspected my lack of guilt should concern me more. I waited a short time longer for Lucas to return, and when he did, he clearly sensed the change in the air. Whatever he thought, he chose to keep it to himself, or perhaps he was simply withholding judgment until he saw the results. Peter, I come with a necromantic cure for you. At least the kids are off the street, right? It's itchy. I apply the quicksilver cure. I hesitated. Rosario had warned me the cure would unbind the disease. If I did not have something to work on the disease itself, it might make the situation worse. Oh. I'm going to hold off. Unbind the disease.
So, what can I do for you, dear cousin?
Like, this is obviously the spider page. Honestly, I think I'm just a step ahead of myself. Let's go to the ball. No, not the journal, the ball. Quick save. Oh. I gotta put on my fancy hat. Fancy robes. Gertrude. All right. We're in. Finally, after all this time, I have access to the grounds. First things first, let's snoop outside. No, it don't really look like there's anything here. Gervais' doorman opened the door and motioned for me to follow him into the ballroom. I think there was a secondary entrance. And I wonder, maybe I should have taken that. This place is goddamn huge. In like Flynn, exactly. A couple of ghosts. Man, I love that we see ghosts everywhere we go. They tell us such secrets. Meow. Meow. Fancy. Look at that parallax. Gervais' doorman opened the door, yada yada yada. Announcing Lord Turg van Elstrick, nephew of Baron Gervais van Elstrick. As I stepped into the ballroom, conversations hushed and eyes turned to stare at me. The polished stone floor gleamed in the light of many candles, which hung from chandeliers overhead and atop elaborate candelabras. The great staircase below me loomed like the procession like a specter, a reminder of my task. Behind me was the passageway that I knew led towards my uncle's office. As for the guests, some showed concern in their eyes for me. Others, including my uncle and the Ottoman official, watched my every move. Other guests looked on with dead eyes of those used in such events. I could tell that each guest would vie for my attention to tell how unfortunate it was my father had passed. I would be watched, and I had to be careful not to arouse suspicion if I hoped of sneaking away.
Here. Another has joined in our celebration.
Pardon?
I am the bride, and this is my wedding day.
But yeah, okay, interesting.
Oh yes, I see. I do hope this one will congratulate us. Unlike all these others. I am the crown, and this is my wedding day.
Oh, very good.
Gods, not another one. I lived here once, so long ago.
Gee whiz.
Oh, I hate them for it. We are wedded. Why do they ignore us?
I turned to see who was talking. I looked to the side where I'd heard the voices, but there was nobody there. As I stared into the empty space, I could just barely discern the faint outline of figures, but then nothing.
Just like the others.
As the bride and groom spoke more, their voices became shouts and screams. They sounded close, almost inside my own head. I wanted to turn and shout back, but I knew there was nothing there, no matter how real the voices sounded.
This is our wedding. How dare he pretend we are not here?
I'll talk to you.
This wedding will turn red if we're not given our due.
Uh-oh.
Oh, do shut up.
With the third voice's command, the shouts silenced. Without their cacophony, I felt only lonely and distant.
So much better. Your first time? It's all right, child. You're in good hands now. My hands. Hands that built this house. Before.
The final ghostly voice faded away, blinked and saw the other guests staring. Concern showed on the faces of even those who did not have any before. I had been awkwardly standing there above them all for some time. A bead of sweat stung my eye, and I felt something unsettled deep inside me. Was the stress of the event or the task I had planned already getting to me? Very good. I guess we'll come down and say hi to everybody. Maybe he knows of a secret passage? I bet he does. Well, I don't want to interrupt the ball. Lord Richard Carnell, aren't you the one whose wife is a trollop? For the observations of the ball and his fellow guests, my uncle looked understated and serious. He stood surveying all with a bit of a scowl. He noticed someone watching. The corners of his mouth turned upwards. Despite his watchful nature, he didn't seem to notice my approach. Who invited this man? Do you know him, dear? He's the lord of the castle. It's here by his permission that we have our wedding. He does brood over his subjects, doesn't he? He hides something. Dear uncle, the man turned slowly, but with a confidence that spoke of many years. My nephew, how good to see you. He looked me up and down. I dare say you've done well for yourself. Is that one of our elves? I'm surprised you managed to have him something made on such short notice. I suppose you are my nephew, which may help matters. I tried to arrive in rags, but the guards wouldn't let me in. Sophia was a dear childhood friend of mine. How could he say no? Gervasi let out a good hearty laugh, but did not smile as he did so. It's good that you are here. Now I assume you approached me with more than idle talk in mind. He's quite the bore, is he not? Be kind to our host. He's not long for... Oh, shut up. Can't you see how his mouth is filled with sharp teeth? I produced a weapon. Can you imagine I just stabbed Gervasi here? You've put on a rather splendid party. The ball, it's a wondrous occasion. I love putting these on. There's no better occasion than being surrounded by one's friends and the important people who adore you. Our wedding is no mere party. How dare you reduce such an event to nothing? Why put on a ball now of all times? You seem to find things distasteful in the wake of your father, my brother's death, my advisor who lost someone recently, so has your aunt. If I gave up my duties as leader for every misfortune that happens, I dare say the city might fall to ruin. Although his face did not show it, he took on a softness. I understand why you would ask this question. We cannot live forever in the past. The world moves on with or without us. We must meet the challenges or become mired in them. Can you tell me a bit about your guests? Let me tell you about the ones that matter. Pasha Mustafa, one of the Sultan Viziers, is quite important. I also suppose the writer Pope is important, but I don't know him well nor his work. He pointed out the guests with his eyes. The Vizier's ridiculously dressed servants hovered around the man. Look at this cool dress. Pope, on the other hand, stood alone, watching someone across the hall. You've also spied Carnell's wife, Agnes. Somehow he persuaded her to come along, though she stands away from him. Near to here are Marija and her husband Stanislav. They're your aunt's friends. Your aunt's friends. Oh, of course, his wife's friends. Okay. Wow, what's this Lady Carnell like? I hear she's a trollop. Richard's wife, I can scarcely say more than that. Opportunities for multiple playthroughs? Absolutely. Absolutely. Chili Joel, dude, thank you for 52 months. Unreal support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome on in. I hope you're enjoying the ball. Rarely does she speak to anybody. Sometimes Mirabelle, but certainly not me. She always seems to have her head somewhere else. Who's this writer? An odd sort of Englishman? He's writing about the war. Will not stop asking me questions. What about Marja and Stanislav? I don't know them well. They're old friends. She owns a textile company up in Mitre. I'm sure she'll tell you at great lengths as soon as you start speaking. I don't think I know Lord Carnell. He's a shrewd tactician. We met fighting against the French back in Spain. My first duty when I became Baron was to bring him on as an advisor with your father. Now it's just him. Oh, I wonder, is Carnell the third necromancer? And the Vizier? He's a wonderful man from the Empire. You do well to keep him in good graces, for he's a powerful man. They say he's the Sultan's chief advisor. Somehow he's made time for me. He's a great ally. Thank you for inviting me. You're very welcome, nephew. No sooner had I received your request did I send it out. I honestly did not think you would be interested in such affairs with your minds on other matters. Clearly you are of noble stock after all. Well, I mean, is there anyone who would refuse your invitation? What an unusual question to ask. Of course, there are not many who reply saying they will not be able to attend. Nobles lead very busy lives. We can't attend to every ball. He narrowed his eyes and looked around for someone. The scowl on his face deepened. There was a Venetian diplomat I had invited. He'd responded rather enthusiastically, but has not arrived. It's most unfortunate. I wanted to discuss something with him. Are you concerned? Why, no, he's a Venetian after all. No doubt he's blundered in some way. Carnell has been going on about something since he returned from Canning. Perhaps it's that. Well, I must speak with the other guests. I'm not ready quite to give away all sorts of suspicious stuff. Also, we have Stanislav and Marriage are there. There is Pasha and the Djinn. Alexander Pope. Lady Agnes Carnell. Let's hit on Lady Carnell first and foremost. Same man that was accusing of having affairs with young men. Exactly. On her own at the end of the ballroom stood a striking woman in a blue gown with a decorative high collar fastened in place of a brooch. She had the shock of red hair and bright blue eyes that stared off into nowhere. As I approached, she gave only a nod but said nothing. We do have a habit of hitting on the redheads, so... Where's he gone? Have you seen him? Has he left me? Good evening, Miss...
Lady Carnell. I suppose I must interact, lest my husband be furious. Yes. Good evening. Are you someone important? I am Lady Agnes Carnell.
Quite distrusting. Only if you consider the Baron's nephew important. I do not. A slight laugh escaped her throat.
Oh, you must be that one. The one whose father died. You're much older than I expected. With all the fuss my husband made, I thought you must be a child.
Husband? It's my wedding day. Where's my husband? He was right here, and now did he leave me? I've been away for quite a while.
I did not know your father. But, then again, I do not know many of Richard's friends. It has been hard, him losing a friend and a brother so close to one another. I am sure you must be grieving, so my condolences.
She doesn't care. Look at her. So proper and pretty. You drew him away, you harlot. Where is he? I love this ghost bride. I love that I could just go insane and scream at everybody at this party. You don't have to pretend for me. Lady Carnell stood looking off to nowhere, clearly having forgotten about me. I coughed politely and she turned to fix me again with her piercing blue eyes.
You are still here. I suppose you must wish to converse over some topic. That is what one must do at a ball.
Well? You seem distracted. What's on your mind? Not be interested in the problem. You hereditary lords and nobles do not have heads for this kind of thing. If I removed your head, I might. Well, no, I'd like to try. Somehow doubt you have any grasp of binomial coefficients. She was right. I have no idea what binomial whatever they are, or what even field they're related to. Perhaps if I tricked her into thinking I might know what she was talking about, she might open up more. Binomial coefficients. I mean, it is math. That's a mathematical concept, right? You do know something about mathematics. How surprising. Everything is an equation if you think about it, from how the wind flows through the trees to how people make decisions. We simply have to find some way to measure it. She looked at me with fire in her eyes as if I had lit a fuse and she was finally seeing me for the first time. She glanced around at the other guests at the ball and lowered her voice as though she were revealing her secret plans to build a revolutionary army. I received a correspondence from Abraham de Moive, whom I met a few years ago after he published his manual on probability. We've written back and forth on some problems he ran over the years, and recently he's done a study on binomial coefficients that I think is really groundbreaking. Tell me about it. He doesn't seem to think that these are important, but I think that the numbers suggest something as the distribution of chances as occurrence increases. I think, yes, he must connect these ideas to the concept of error in probability. I've been working on the proof in my head that might be... She studied for a moment and then sighed. I suppose I can't really expect someone here to meet my expertise on the subject. I must be boring you. At the very least, I'm not being a very good guest. Richard will have my head for that. But thank you. I think I have a piece of the puzzle now. She flashed me a dazzling smile, the first I had seen from her. I noticed for the first time that Agnes Carnell was not only an intelligent woman, but also super hot, even though she was 15 years older than me. You're not standing with your husband. Are there any problems? If you had ever spoken to Richard at one of these events, you would not want to stand near him either. No, I have no problems with that which you insinuate. I'm occupied with thoughts of a more engaging problem I need to address, but I must be here. These words did not dissuade my observation. The Carnells were not on the best of terms. I wondered if I could use that to my advantage, but I had to be cautious. Perhaps if I had the right approach, I could get her on my good side. Well, perhaps some people do not value scholarly pursuits as you and I might. You're quite right there. Why, he had the audacity to march into my study this morning and drape a dress across my desk. He suggested I should start getting ready for the ball. I have better things to do than to spend hours in a dress I cannot even sit in, and I couldn't even use the one he had picked because he dropped it right on a fresh letter and it became smeared with ink. How dare he bother you when you're working? Yes, you understand. She looked at me with discerning eyes and lowered her voice. I could tell you were guiding this conversation for some purpose. I did not get to be Lady Carnell just by being pretty, though that did help. What is your aim?
I am Lady Agnes Carnell.
I'm not sure what my aim is here yet. I guess I need a distraction, but I don't know. I'm going to say, like, probably that I don't have any motives. We all have motives, my dear. When you see fit to tell me yours, I might listen. All right, I'm going to talk with the other guests for a bit. We can always go back and do that. Let's talk to this writer, Alexander Pope. This is a problem, is my guy is not like a smart guy, so... Before me stood the shortest man I'd ever laid eyes upon, rising barely higher than my stomach. He appeared slender and frail, and I could knock him over with any effort.
You must be the nephew. Would that we might meet under less disconsolate circumstances. Alexander Pope, I'm sure you know.
I did not know this man, or whatever reputation he clearly thought he had. Perhaps he was a philosopher, or a prince of some sort. He was certainly foreign. English was my guess. Even still, if my uncle had invited him, it would be best to pretend I knew who he was. No children at all. I'll never have. No, he's no child, an imposter. Cast him out before he brings ruin. An imposter? A child? Reveal yourself? Like, obviously I just want to make an ass out of myself at this party, but we can't talk to the djinn, not directly, but probably if we talk to the vizier, we'll talk to the djinn. I mean, I guess we are still like the son of a noble. Concern, suspicion, and stress. Here's the thing. I think if I like do crazy things, probably I get like a benefit from the ghosts versus a benefit from the people. And I'm definitely more ghost.
I am Alexander Pope, a
Very
most
trusting.
illustrious writer from England.
I also got to remember that, like, the outsiders love us, so... Master Pope, delighted to see you here. I'm gonna say, just say, I don't know who you are. Are you a noble? The man smiled slightly and slowly shook his head. He did not proffer further information.
With grief. It is with a heavy heart I must offer you my sorrows for your father. Though
I gotta remember
I
the
did not
outsiders
know
are our
him,
way into
I
things.
have heard stories of how he upheld the sanctity of our relationship to God.
Thank you. He did what he thought was right. Definitely, I'm not gonna say he was a good man.
That is all we can ask from each other. Do what is right. Be good. Consider reason. He strived to uphold God's plan, whatever it may be.
This guy sucks.
I try my best to do so in my writing. If you have the fortitude for it, I would gladly converse with you. I have arrived here in your country and would ask you to be my head and heart in some matters. Fret not, though, if you are too stricken with grief to indulge me.
What do you think of the ball? See how decadent the halls are draped, how living the voices of nobles take? Such good sense, which is only the gift for heaven. What a spectacle we find ourselves within. His words are riddles I can't understand. He mocks us. I want to try at least one crazy thing. Do you mock them on their wedding day? Dear man, are you of the mind that we are engaged in a matrimonial? Look and see that there are no brides or grooms to mock. The sharpness of his tone cut through conversation, and many nearby stopped to look and see what was the matter. I had to play it off, or else too many eyes would follow me. Spend no points to connect marriage to another couple. Ah, I see you suggest that they have wedded their desires together in this space, and we are the results. I have doubts as to whether this was she at all, for there is reason tempered here, and she, I think, would have some. The guests nearby nodded as though they understood and went back to their conversations. It seems that the complicated language was enough to assure people I was in my right mind. I am acquainted with your Lord Carnell. He spends ever long in the fair city, but he is English as I. We've crossed paths in the court from time to time, but this is my first dalliance in your country. He never travels with his heart's companion, if she can be called that. I wonder, do you think it uncouth for me to introduce myself to her? She is indeed an interesting character and quite her own woman. I believe you have spied the truth of it. Certainly she could desire herself if she wished for conversation. I might have to think on it more. I'm gonna cause a fight between Pope and Carnell. You should ask Carnell for his permission. I admit that he and I do not find one another's companies in good spirit. I'm sure if he was clear that I wish to hold such a conversation, Richard would deny me for naught but his own pleasure. She too may resent seeking permission from him. So no, I think not. Why are you in Rolstein? I admit it's not simply for beauty. I've come here to hear stories of the war. We hear only the tallest of tales, and there's no assurance of the truth. The Lich War? That really is how your people phrase it. Yes, the war, the one and the same, though I do not wish to uncover a more poetic title, the War of the Grave, or the Necromancer's Tale. He said the name of the game! I have to consider it more. I could tell you of my father's role in the war. Well, it's possible that you have heard narratives that I doubt while in military service. I doubt that they're different from the myths that others make of him. Certainly as a soldier, there's this reverence for heroes. But if my research is correct, you do not truly know his battlefield exploits, nor did any of those in your position. Well, good luck then, arsehole. I think you should leave. What do you think of my uncle? Rather intense and generous fellow who has endured a great deal over the years. Given such quarries are in given company not fair or even kind. I would, however, ask that perhaps you might shed some light about his exploits in the war. He's very modest. I fear you're mistaken about the relationship my uncle and I share. I dare say not. In my research estimation, it may be true that you have not been acquainted, but I think you have had some interest of late. Is he talking about love? He knows something. We must silence him. You will keep quiet. Before I knew it, my hands were coiled around the slender neck of the tiny man. He made to shout, but could not muster beneath breath under my grip. It was all that I could do to keep myself from crushing his neck in one firm squeeze. This was not me. I could just snap his neck right now. But we're good at strength. Tear my hands apart. I would not fall into this darkness. My muscles ached as I forced my arms away from the neck of the small man and back to my sides. The desire lingered, but the moment passed. In a blink, the room became what it was. Master Pope was still awaiting my answer. Fascinating. I do not know anything of note. Should we discuss his writing? What are you writing at the moment? Several manuscripts. Right, he just wants to know about my uncle. Freva, had not had the pleasure of reading your work. What do you write about? Beauty, reason, poetry. We speak so often of morality and goodness, but it's only in ink that we can truly discuss such ideas. Alright, I'm gonna leave. This guy's boring as hell. The Ottoman vizier and the djinn look outrageously dressed. The vizier in his violet and gold, the djinn in his jewelry floating 6 inches above the ground. The enemy! How dare he set foot in my home?
Hang like flies. Begone! Leave Pasha alone.
Ah, I am met by the child of Zelig, the great hero, am I not? Please, allow me to offer my condolences, dear one.
Do not accept his honey words. This enemy took my land from me.
Leave us, spirit. The one you want is long dead.
Huh. Like, Pasha must... He can see the djinn, so I'm assuming he can also see the ghouls, right? I don't want him to take this the wrong way, but why do they say you are the enemy? A great frown fell over the vizier's face, and he refused to acknowledge the question. I heard hushed whispers in the silence as the vizier stared at me. I had misstepped, but I had a chance to recover. I'm gonna apologize. I am merely nervous at meeting one so esteemed as you. This seemed to sate the worries of the man before me and those listening
We do not know
in.
one another, no? Then, I am Ali Mustafa, one of the wazirs in service to our great Sultan Mahmud. You may address me as Pasha.
You have given your name, Pasha. Is this one important? Can this one tell us of the one they call Werner?
Werner. I noticed the vizier was careful not to acknowledge his mystical assistant, and I wanted to know more of this creature. There would be no way of discussing it openly without arousing suspicion, so I too ignored it. Please call me Turg, Pasha. Shall we speak?
Oh, but of course, young one. When at a ball, there is nothing else to do but speak.
You are familiar to us, child. It was you I sensed through your puppet. Pasha, this is the one who controls the spy.
The djinn looked to my side and grinned. I noticed the faint outline of Zala there. He reached out his hands, claws really, and swiped the air between him and my own spirit.
And he has brought the puppet as well. What is this one planning? Remember, tiny one, that I am more powerful than you shall ever be.
Probably, I believe that, yeah. What shall we speak of? How fares your homeland? Have you traveled to Constantine? It's like a ruby among the grass plains. We are blessed by the waters of the Bokoziki and make our land prosperous. You must visit one day. What is he hiding from? It sounds wonderful. The vizier smiles and bowed. Did you know my father? We heard many stories of the great hero. Is what's much sorrow I say that we never crossed paths or swords. There is no sorrow for the man. There is only for show. What stories have you heard? Tales of greatness. Your father was a brave one, standing against the great evil of our time as the world watched with worry. We hear many tales of the man as tall as a mountain and with the fury of 10 oxen. Our children listen with stars in their eyes. You didn't like him then? Young one, why would you say so? Who has been saying such awful words about me? Do you think of me so terribly? Are you spreading false tongues? I had not realized that he had risen his voice until I noticed the other guests also staring. The vizier's eyes had also taken on a hardness as he studied me. If I didn't wish to cause a scene, I would have to be quick with my words. I don't really want to spend all my skill points here. But I'm going to have to. I thought, well, you have been in the ballroom with him before. I cannot think that you would have not have spoken with a hero such as him. Am I wrong? Perhaps I misunderstood. The young one is very naive in the ways of the court. You may not know this, being far from your father so long. This hero was not the one to show himself at court. He did not seem to enjoy the attention that being known attracts. I understand how you were confused. I kept my brow furrowed as the vizier explained. A few guests nearby nodded along, following the logic, and I made a show of sudden understanding. This seemed to satisfy the others that I had not accused a foreign dignitary of something untowards. Are you enjoying the ball? It is most wonderful. Your Lord Van Elstrick has always been kind to remember my people. What do you think of my uncle? This is an unkind question, young one. I have great admiration for your lord. He has opened his home to me. What would you say? This one seeks to trap Pasha in a web, but Pasha's skill is too great to be caught. It seems that the vizier would not reveal his thoughts so easily. Perhaps if I had known his language, I might have gotten him to say more. Sadly, Turkish was not part of the training of a soldier. Well, you mentioned Werner, the captain of the guard. This one speaks of my words, not Pasha's. He can hear me. I assure you I did not. I have met the young man, but have no interest. Are you hearing voices? I am here. I know you hear me. Come to me, and I shall make you forget about all of this. The vizier's question caused a nearby guest to gasp and stare. Hearing voices was a sign of either madness or dark magics. I wanted neither of these to be associated with me. I could not accomplish my goals easily if people watched my step with every concern. I'll just blame another guest. I had overheard something spoken by another as I entered the ball. Someone mentioned that you had been speaking about the captain, so I was merely curious. You must not believe the words that people pass about at such an event. Too many seek to cause trouble. It amuses them. If I had such an interest in this one Werner, I would not speak where others could hear. He narrowed his eyes at me as if sending a message. I got the impression that he would like to speak more about Willard, but that he would not do so in front of everyone. Regardless, the exchange satisfied the nearby guests. I bid you good evening. That was good. I feel like we got a lot out of that. Let's talk to the lady here. A peal of laughter filled the small space between two nobles whom I've never seen before. The older man smiled broadly at the woman who held his shoulder. As I came closer, a pair of perfumes intermingled
So I
and smelled
said to
nice.
Mirabelle, you cannot let him wear that awful silk. Get rid of it.
And I'll bet you told her what Gervais should be wearing.
I feel like I've met this lady before. Stories to tell one another in the quiet parts of the day. Stories I will never have.
I can't go to a ball and...
The woman stopped mid-sentence to nod her head at me. What was that about my aunt?
Our manners. I don't believe we've met. I'm Marija from Maiter, and this is...
Stanislav. You must be the one we've heard so much about. Zelik's child, of course. You must tell me something about your...
Hey! Stanislav, I know you're eager to ask, but let's not dwell on tragedy.
Oh, such a tragedy. If you ever wish to talk about this great
Well, that
loss
everybody
we've
knows
all
them.
suffered.
And you most of all. How are you holding up? Stanislav, dear, show some kindness, please.
Look how they share a conversation. Look how they trust one another. What has happened? What have I done? I'm grieving, but thank you for your concern.
Why don't we talk about something entirely different? Cough, perhaps. Oh, but I shouldn't prattle on about work.
At least these two are nice.
Are you sure you're the woman I married?
Quite sure.
Are they really so happy as they seem? Was I? I don't suppose I could convince you to discuss whatever you wish, right, dear? It's refreshing to see two people so happy with one another. We just believe that no one can truly be happy without love, and Stanislav is on his second happiness. You know that Bran and I were arranged. I never knew true happiness until you. Such a charmer. At least we're better off than the most of this lot. How can you say that? You know we have lost one another. Are all the other couples here all unhappy? Some of them fine, really, but the Carnell, she can't even stand next to the man. Oh, and Mirabelle is. Perhaps we should show a little bit of tact. You lecturing me on tact? It's a bit of untoward to gossip about our host's marriage. Let's leave it, shall we? That's true. We know that she was maybe sleeping with the blacksmith. But we didn't get enough of those details. Well, here's to happiness. They both raise their glass to happiness. You seem to know my aunt and uncle well. Mirabelle's a dear friend and valued client. If only her husband would put in some nice orders. It's very hard to know a baron. He and Carnell seem stuck together, strange for a foreign diplomat. Did you know my father? Is it true that Zelig really single-handedly won the Battle of Two Bridges? What was he like as a father? I can't imagine growing up with someone so incredible. He mustn't pester you with questions. As you can see, he didn't really know Zelig. He wasn't one for these kind of events. So I can't, he sent me away, so I can't really say he was much of a father. I heard that's rather common in the South among noble families. We tend to keep our children home to take up the family business. Land ownership? You're lucky I came along. Someone has to keep up the manor grounds. You have people to do that. Fortunately, when we have a child, they can be an heir to my company and do some actual work. I could tell from their smiles and the way they touched each other as they talked, this was merely good-natured banter. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm walking forever in my father's shadow. I believe I heard you did rather follow him into the soldier's duty. It must have been tough living up to those expectations. Doesn't help when people needle you with questions. You know the stories just as well as I do. But are they true? Was he really quite so grand? You did meet him one time. Remember that holiday you took with the old bag 2 years later? It's disrespectful to call Branna that, and Zelig wasn't there, was he? You two had a whole conversation about stag hunting. I managed to pull you away and... Oh, right, that was him. I had no idea. Can't really talk too much about it. Scandalous, right? This ball is full of scandal. Honestly, this is the moment that, like, oh, I wish we had more points in intelligence so that we could really cause some trouble at this. You mentioned something about cloth? I own and operate Miter's Textiles, the best producer of cloth in the country. You've never felt cloth so soft to put Spanish silk to shame. If you don't stop, she'll go on for hours. I'm not above making a sale at a ball. I know you are Errol's customer, but he prefers silk. But he'll use any good material if you provide it. Well, I did commission this from Errol. How did you know? He can't help but doing the double back and whip stitch. He thinks it adds a nice detail, but really all it does is stretch the silk after a few wears. I think it adds a nice soft edge. It looks fine, but it can really wear out delicate fabric. Surely silk is better than wool. Is it? People think that silk is the pinnacle of cloth, and wool is so much more versatile. It's cheaper too, easier to dye a variety of colors, plus it'll last longer and alters well. I do get a bit loud when talking about cloth. Well, I think I should stop you there. Pleasure meeting you both. Mirabelle, Gervais, and Carnell. All right, so we're through most people here. Aunt Belle, to her nephew, did not appear to be enjoying herself. She watched me with eyes full of heavy, like they might burst at any moment. Though next to my uncle, she leaned away rather than into him. She smiled weakly. Look at this dumpy thing. So sad are you? Did you lose your sister? Let me tell you all the things I lost. For a moment, Aunt Belle's smile faltered. Had she heard the voice too? I didn't have time to ask before it returned. Although I'd seen her passing at the blacksmith's forge, this was my first proper meeting with Belle since returning to Burns.
My dear, these are terrible times indeed. I am so sorry about your father. So soon after the passing of my own sister Bernice.
Why, it's been so long since I last saw you. You were just a child then, but now look at you. Do not mind the wonder of an aging aunt. How are you holding up? It's a hard thing to lose someone. Such a terrible situation. I cannot imagine how truly you feel deep down. I at least had the chance to say goodbye to my sister. It was great relief to do so. I still have questions. Nobody will mourn you when you're gone. Nobody will mourn me. They stole my home, razed it to the ground, and forgot me. You'll remember me, won't you, Turk? Of course I will, Ghost Ghoul. My aunt looked at me as if I was going to say more, but evidently changed her mind. This is not about that. Sadness can do so much more than we do not understand. You know, my dear, you are never meant to be alone in this. Grief is meant to be shared. It's a burden we can't live with alone. Thank you, Aunt Belle. It helps knowing someone so kind to me here. Listen to me babble on. I'm making you uncomfortable. More uncomfortable in such happenings as we find ourselves. It will do no good for me to fuss. You will share if you need to when you are ready. Oh, I long for the comfort of someone. Won't you show me some? Dear boy, what's on your mind? How are you doing, Aunt Belle? You're sweet for asking. There's nothing I can possibly complain about. I know it seems from the outside that the family has troubles, but we're quite content and everything is fine. The sorrow drips from you like rain. Can you not see it? Do you not feel the rage? Would you lie to someone just to save face? No, we are fine. You're angry about something. Narrowing her eyes, she looked left and right and back at me. Anger, rage, dear child, I don't know what you're talking about. Where did you hear that? Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed my uncle watching me and realized that Mirabelle had not mentioned anger at all. The voice had. It might have seemed like I was prying, and that brought unwanted attention. It's just when I returned having lost him, there was so much anger left inside me, I couldn't get it out. I thought you must be feeling the same. Of course you felt angry. You lost a man who knew more than through stories of heroism than as a father. You missed your chance to say goodbye. We all have our own way of taking grief. I'm handling mine, but not through anger. She put a hand on mine and looked at me with heavy eyes. I wonder what she would have said if I had told her I communed with my father just a short while ago. If I told her what he had said about her own husband. Have you spoken with Mother recently? I've not spent much time with her. I sent along my condolences, of course, but she's been so distant. I see her at church with your Hoffman. She stares off like she's not there. I don't know if she even hears the sermon. She said not a word at the Grim. Is there anything the matter? Something we can do? Does she care or does she pretend? She sends hopes but does not bid us. She notices silence, but does she not speak? I got a reason to be mad at her for this. You could at least visit. Her husband died. It's like you don't even care. Do not raise your tone with me, young man. I know you're in pain, but you will not take it out on me. You may be a nephew, but I'm still a lady. Voices near us hush and eyes turned my way at outbursts. Concern dripped from their gazes. No, carry on making my point. I arrived home and found my mother surrounded by wishes in an empty house. Here you are asking if there is anything we can do, but you do not actually want to do anything about it. This is quite enough. I will look past this because I know what grief is like, but I have lost just as you have. Dear boy, you do not have to look for fault. Things happen that we cannot change. Your mother is hurting. We're all hurting. It's normal to hurt. The silence came across the room at the raised voices. Likely people heard their words and reflected on their own tragedies. I left their pity on my back and realized how this would only make it harder to slip away. People are concerned about me. Well, she's managing, I suppose. I'll give her your love. That's a curious voice line. Does she like me? No, she's really distrusting.
Mirabelle, married to the Baron Gervais von Elstrick.
Tell me about your sister. I feel her absence every day. It's been some time since we lost her. I feel like it was only yesterday I saw her face and... Dear, I know I instructed you not to dwell on such matters. Turg, do not ask about this topic. It vexes your aunt. Let's talk of other things. Well, what about the uncle? Surely you could just ask him your questions. Well, it's nothing so untoward, Aunt Belle. How is he doing? I don't think it's appropriate for me to comment on such things. Who can truly know the heart but himself? I might be his wife, but I do not pretend to know what lurks in his mind. She tilted her head back and smiled at her husband. He nodded in our direction, but gave no indication of delight. She returned her gaze to me. Her smile faded, and she looked at me as if to say, that is your answer right there. You should ask him yourself. Subtly sow doubts about my uncle. How did you two meet? It's a secret. A woman must have some mystery. Secrets fester and rot until they're told. You want my secrets, don't you? I would give them all to you if you would let me. I'm going to try to subtly sow doubts. Mention his hospital visit. I considered our conversation this night and realized she had seen something untrue. Actually, Gervais had seen me recently at the hospital. She was not lying, so he must have kept it from her. Gervais visited me during his stay at the hospital. It was kind of him. Aunt Belle turned her head just a bit as if she was going to ask her husband something, but stopped. Are you sure? I had suggested we do so, but he didn't want to disturb your care. Gervais had said that the doctor... perhaps I am misunderstood. Excellent. When I first approached you, noticed something, did you not? A voice? Whatever do you mean? This is a ball. There are so many voices. This is definitely going to raise concern if I do this. Whatever. A voice mentioned your sister. You mentioned my sister, didn't you? You said such a hurtful thing. I heard it too. Clearly it was some unkind guest who wishes to sow strife. Forgive me, Aunt Belle. Let's push this from her mind. I don't doubt it with some of these. I have a guess as to who it might be, but as a lady, I still know when to keep my tongue. All right. Lord Carnell? A severe man in a red coat spied me as I approached. His expression changed quickly from a scowl to a practiced neutral as he stood tall and squared his shoulder. The air around him smelled of perfume, but not a pleasant one.
If it's not the one I've heard so much about.
Wow, this guy looks so evil.
I do not believe we have met. Richard Carnell, advisor to the Baron. So sorry to hear about your father. Quite an upstanding chap, you know. Though, one must carry on. I am Lord Richard Carnell, formerly of Mayfair's Burlington Estate, London.
Yeah, this guy sucks for sure. So far from home, are you? A man like you took all this from me, yet you haunt these halls as well as I do. What do you see? What do you hear? Does he know? One must carry on. Yes, one must.
I should like to ask you, how long do you wish to remain in Mars? Surely you do not wish to remain when you have your work to return to?
Wow. How he pries. I would never ask him your ambitions. What's his aim? Why does he want you to leave? Well, there are family affairs I must attend to first, such as murdering my uncle.
I see. It would be quite helpful to your uncle and I to know how long you plan to stay and what you intend to do while you are here. I am, after all, his advisor and closest friend.
Good. When I raise you from the dead, you will stab him. He knows something he's keeping from you. He's frail, and it would be so easy to squeeze his throat. His secrets could be yours. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna wrap my hands around his throat. The soft, supple skin quivered under my finger, and a cry came to my ears. But no, this wasn't happening, was it? Grasp at reality. My hands were not around Lord Carnell's neck. They were at my side. I had not done that at all. The man was not shaking in fear, but instead looking at me expectantly.
Respond instead of giving me that dreadful look. I suppose I cannot expect much from someone who has just lost a father. Perhaps we can speak of other things.
I'd prefer that. How are you finding the ball? Going quite well, do you not? Whatever we would do without such occasions. We meet wonderful people and it distracts us from the day-to-day. He trails off into a quiet moment of reflection. I had forgotten that he had lost his own brother recently as well. He's more fragile than he looks. We could dispose of him so easily. You would do that for me, wouldn't you? What were we talking about? Oh yes, the ball. Marnes is an important port. We cannot go without a ball for too long, even if it attracts people such as the Pope. Such a sad man. The weight of the whole world is upon your shoulders. I'll show you the weight of the world. He lunged at me faster than I'd ever thought possible for a man 20 years my senior, who had been pampered in the court his whole life. He threw me to the floor. The moment my head hit the wood, my vision blurred. The room swam, and a great heavy something pressed against my chest. I realized it was Carnell himself. He felt like he was made of stone. My breath escaped me, and I gasped for air. Remain conscious. I felt like an entire building pressed against my chest. My ribs ached and cracked under the weight, forcing air from my lungs. My head swelled and darkness clouded my eyes. My limbs felt dead and useless, but as I held on as long as I could, though a fire burned through my throat and chest. What did you say? I had to discuss something very important with Lord Van Elstrick. The room snapped back into view as if nothing had happened at all. I opened my mouth as an involuntary gasp for air, and my lungs expanded with that sweet lifeblood. The fire and the pain melted away. What's the ball distracting you from, your brother? The man stumbled for a moment and then straightened up. We are at a ball, and I will not allow you to pull me into your own soft melancholy. All that matters to me is that Lord Van Elstrick's event carries on with the mirth and attention it requires. There are many important conversations I must to attend to this night, conversations that do not include you. Without another word, he turned away from me and began speaking with someone else. Politeness would require him to speak again if I approached, but for the moment, our conversation was over. Yeah, I'm going to convince Alexander Pope to go hit on his wife for sure.
We meet again.
Oh, no, I can't. What about her, maybe? All right, I mean, we've spoken to everybody at least once, so...
Well...
About your husband. Perhaps you need a better companion? Are you trying to flirt with me? You do not know who I am then. Please don't be so ridiculous. Ooh, do we cause a lot of trouble here? I heard a story about you and a young man of your house staff. Yeah, why not? Let's cause some trouble. My comment caught her off guard for a moment and she was speechless. She confidently sized me up before replying, caressing my body with her eyes. Well, well, that's just a story, I imagine. Does it interest you? You heard this from my husband, I suppose. He's prone to such a jealousy. Oh, I don't have enough points to hit on her. She's not going to trust me with the distraction, but I could try to incite a fight between them. Let's just, yeah. She's too smart for this. I need a distraction I want to leave unwatched. You and me both. I would love nothing better than to slip away and go back to my study. So you thought, what if Agnes and Richard had a huge argument? You can try it on Richard, but he's very suspicious. Tell him I've been talking with that man Pope. They can't stand one another. You still willing to help me slip away? Only if you stop asking all the time. All right, well.
Let us speak.
You don't seem to like me. Is there a reason? One should not be so direct in courtly manners. It is so undignified. You are a lord by birth and in the Van Elstric's family, no less, but you've been away most of your life. Simply put, I don't know you. It's my job to be distrustful of people I don't know. I cannot advise Lord Van Elstric if I am taken in so easily. Let the subject drop. I do believe your wife has been speaking to Master Pope. Carnell narrowed his eyes and scowled at me. What is it you're trying to do? I've watched my wife closely, and she's always been talking to most nobody aside from you. What plan have you conceived? Spend 0 points for this. You're not watching her now, are you? How can you be sure she's not stolen away with someone while you were conversing with a guest? If my uncle were to call your attention, would you only give half of it to him? Now, you see right here, you're quite right. That makes no difference. Agnes has a mind of her own. That idiot Pope has as much a chance of stealing her as I have of getting her away from her study. She was just telling me all about that young man of your house staff she bedded last year. I don't know that I want to throw her under the bus. But I guess if I do this, it also like puts suspicion on her. I hate this guy, so I want to not just insinuate that something happened, but that she literally bedded a man last year. Carnell's eyes nearly popped out of his head, and his face cycled through several shades of red and purple before he could muster a reply. Finally, he leaned in very close and struck a finger in my face as he spoke in a threatening whisper. Did she? Did she? I don't believe you. Why would she tell such information to a stranger? Increases jealousy. I can't prove it, it's true. She made it quite clear that she would welcome such a liaison with me. The thing is I want him to get in a fight with Pope, so I'm going to just say a habit of such liaisons. I am a menace right now, yeah. You're to stay away from her, did you hear? Lest I am driven to kill you. Overcome with rage, he bellowed these words at me, drawing the eyes of all of the room. Well, my suspicion is up.
So, we meet again.
I think you should leave. The room stilled and eyes drifted towards me. I didn't know if there was any way to recover from what I just said. You're right, he doesn't belong here. Have him escorted out. He'll ruin the wedding.
I am the
Oops. You have some sinister purpose here, I think. You level baseless accusations fueled only by your desire to see me removed. I, as anyone, invite healthy debate, but you have no bones about your argument. Perhaps it is with such a purpose? The court would do well to think on that. He turned away from me, and it was clear that I had overstepped what little authority I had. People are watching me nervously. Okay, suspicion is way hella up now. An impudent grin broke across Lady Carnell's face as I approach.
Well...
Whatever you goaded Richard with worked. I haven't seen him that wound up in a while. Well done. I'm not sure this is working.
Let us speak.
Well, maybe Mirabelle will go on a walk with me. Would you like to walk about with me? Such a kind idea. I must move about, or it will be sore in the morning. We talked as we walked around the room. All the while, I felt Gervais watching me suspiciously. It would be hard to get anything done without a distraction. Surely you must have sensed things in the keep are amiss. You suspect something with Gervais, do you not? You have been hinting at it. I confess that it's been distant as of late. What do you plan to do? I need a distraction so I can slip out and investigate the keep. Surely the guards will... No, please, Aunt. This is important. All right, then. Give me a nod when you wish. I do not know how much time I can buy you, but it will be something. Take me back to Gervais before he gets more suspicious. Yeah, I think I needed Pope to go talk to her. I think you're right. And I think I screwed that check up earlier. So I'll just have Aunt Belle do this. Walked to the stairs and caught my aunt's gaze. After giving the tiniest of nods, I waited. Oh. Aunt Belle put her forehead to and fell to the slump in the floor. The room erupted in chaos as people gathered round. Gervais called out for help and guards came rushing to their posts. I would have only a few moments before my aunt was revived. I made my way quickly and quietly up the stairs. Why couldn't I just like come around here and then sneak through the walls? I would need to be careful not to be witnessed by any of the keep's guards, but I hope to find my uncle's private office and the information I sought. There's still too much light here. Hurried out of the Great Hall while the distraction was in place. And then trespassing is not allowed. As long as you stay hidden in the shadows and hold the items. I quietly chanted the words of walk in shadow. Nothing happens. I would know when the time was right to use the incantation. But I need to make sure I also have a lit candle, right? And there's a guard like right there. Oh, and there's nothing this way. Okay. Ah. They have vision cones. Though I could not see her eyes, I knew somehow she regarded me, silent and emotionless, these ghosts. Okay. Zoop. Uh-oh. Shadowy figure. Little stealth action. They were like, we got the tactics, we got the mysteries. How about a little stealth action in here too? His figures were misshapen and difficult to discern. I could see glassy eyes turned in my direction. Let us go away together. Leave these life behind. I can show you things you've dreamt of. There in the shadows. Take my hand and follow me. Take its hand. Try again. It will work. You're so close. Take its hand. What can you show me? Do you hate me? Fear me? I gotta be careful because this guy is still coming around. Its eyes flickered orange as the light of the fire had enveloped them. What remained of its hair danced upon like smoke raising from a blaze. Heat poured out of the thin air, caressing me and suffocating. My breath abandoned me and I struggled to gulp for air. My home was burned all long ago. The murderers came and took it all. It fades away. We were just a man talking to the creature visiting behind the veil. Who are you? The one who lived here before. It drifted close so that I could see nothing but its face right against my own. If I had lips, they would be touching mine. There was a faint smell of rot and smoke and of singed flesh. We were vanquished, all of us. Even our burial places were defiled. I lie deep below the foundations of this castle, though just ash. Come with me and I will show you. The creature walked right through me. There was no purchase, only icy chill and the faint smell of someone burning alive. Pull my hand close to my chest. I felt the face twisting into revulsion and disdain. There would be nothing this creature could do to make me follow it anywhere. You would forsake me after all this has happened. You're just the same as those fiends. Where were you on that fateful night? Have I been blind this whole time? This is my house. I didn't build it for you to take it away. Usurper. A desk. Unimportant letters, a knife, and a necklace. I'm going to take them all. I'm going to loot every room in this place. A crossbow and a couple of shirts. Ring, necklaces. Oh, where this is meant to lead. Can't tell this guy turns around. No, okay. Another shadowy figure. What have I done, my bride, my love? It was not supposed to end this way. Why did she not listen? Where they all died. She stayed in the room where they were all supposed to die, where they all did die. How have you escaped? I'd planned everything, every last detail, save my love's willful nature. If you escaped, then perhaps my bride escaped too. What have you done? The ghost stared and looked at me in his eyes. If there was any expression, it was fear. Why are you asking such questions? You escaped, you must be. I've done nothing. Go and save yourself. Leave me to my grief. Nothing in here. What's upstairs? This is the throne room. Oh, that was like the way out. Ooh! Oh, we're gonna have to load that save. We're gonna have to load that save for sure. I didn't get any kind of indication on that one. Little scumming. I have not seen her. A guttural wail filled my ears, so I looked around nervously, forgetting momentarily that no guard could hear this ghost. I've killed her. Why? Why did she say? What have you done? All right. So I'll wait for this guy to pass. Like, I'm so curious. If I had taken out the book right away, could I have just ghosted my way through everything here? Ah, so this guy does wander. Meaning I should be able to probably hide, like, right here. And then we just gotta wait for him to come by. Just drop a quick save in there. Thought that ghost would show me a secret passage. Yeah, me too. But I might have not given him the right information or whatever. Or been, like, angry enough. My uncle's private office. I had made it without being caught. The room began to spin and a wave of sickness washed over me. I staggered. Pinpricks of darkness swelled in my vision. For a moment, I thought I was falling. A deep breath calmed me and stilled my head. I could not back out so close to my goal despite whatever ward assaulted me. This is the ghost bride. She clutched the dead roses to her chest and looked frantically left and right. My love, where have you gone? I'm scared. Something has happened and I cannot find you. Tell me where you are. Her eyes flitted over me for several times and did not acknowledge me until we locked eyes. Her face was a mere decayed shadow, what it must have been in life. Dead flowers formed a crown atop her head, holding the veil up. Have you seen my husband? There is something wrong. Please help me. What's wrong? I don't know. I can't tell. Everything looks different, but I feel like I've been eaten from the inside. I feel like I'm no longer here. She put her hands to the side of her face where the thorny stems of the faded roses dug into what remained. She pulled out a dangling strip of skin. What's this hanging from my veil? My face. My veil is loose. Then a scream so loud and shrill I was certain the living could hear it. I swore the nearest candle flames shuddered in response. What have you done here? This is my wedding. Who are these men? He's done this to you. What do you mean he's my husband, or he shall be? I cannot believe you. My love would do nothing bad to me. What are you playing at? As quietly as I could, I explained what the groom had said. Willful. Did he expect me to be an obedient wife? He knows me better than this. You've seen him. Is he further on? I will show him I still breathe. I shall make him explain. How dare he do this to my wedding? What do you think, Mona? Can you believe that this ghost bride, this ghost husband, killed this ghost bride? It's an outrage. Did you know that I'm holding a dead cat in my hand? In the game? But don't worry, I didn't kill it. It made me think about you, so I had to go find a stuffed cat instead. That way nobody got harmed. Mona. Moni. Oh, yo, whoa, whoa, yo, whoa, whoa, yo, whoa, whoa. Yo, you're just happy to be here. What, are you asleep already? Hello? Moni. She's so chill. She's like, I'm good, man. This is what I want. You're warm. I just want a hug. You little baby. You can sit down there. The bride wandered off, fading as she moved. Wherever she had gone to confront her groom, merely passed from the realm of restless spirits. I feared I would never know. Alright, we gotta do some suspicion. My uncle's desk was much more Spartan and simple than I expected. A candle burned faintly, and its light barely illuminated a box and a sheaf of papers. Examined the box. Didn't seem to have an opening, yet something moved inside as I held it in my hands. I remained stumped by it for now. Sift through the papers. Most of them were unimportant documents about finances or reports from the harbor master or the captain of the guard. As I set the papers down, one of them fell out of the bundle and floated to the floor. Turned out to be another boring missive from Willard. As I stood back up, my hand caught on some sharp splinters on the underside of the desk. Something was carved there. I discovered the scratches were a sequence of numbers. 51324. Desk against the wall looked a bit disused. A single piece of paper lay on top, but as did dust. From its broken seal, it appeared to be a letter from some noble. Examine the letter, but don't risk taking it. Time runs against us, and the hour to act is upon us. The queen's spies grow more watchful, and whispers of our intent may soon reach her ears. Every moment we delay grants her power to tighten her grip and unravel our designs. You must hasten your preparations and muster your men without delay. The pieces are set, but without your hand to move them, the opportunity will slip through our fingers. Trust that I have secured my part, and the tide of support swells in our favor. Yet it's a fickle current that will not await for long. Strike while the iron is hot, and let us seize the crown before fate robs us of this chance. I await your swift reply, and more importantly, your resolute action. See. See. So the uncle is moving against the crown. Cabinet opened with quiet ease, but proved to be empty. I was curious to keep an empty cabinet in one's office, so my uncle didn't seem to use the type to let something go to disuse. Spent 0 points to discover something. There was something strange about the cabinet, clearly not deep enough. It had a hidden cache somewhere. I discovered an embossed section which, with a good amount of pressure, gave way. 5 in total, left to right. 5 panels reminded me of the 5-digit sequence I found under my desk. My fingers raced along, pressing them in the order. A panel in the back slid open and revealed a cache. Parchment bound with a leather cord of maps. Battle plans, like the ones I studied as a soldier. One of them looked to be an area of the northern forest where the witch lived, but I was unsure. Was my uncle planning a raid? I rolled the maps back up and placed them back in the cache. I would have to remember as much as I could, since taking these plans would surely alert him to my tampering. If my uncle knew the plans had been uncovered, they would be useless to me. Well, we gotta warn Rosario for sure. The magic book. C is for Chungus. Gave in and bought this game. There goes the weekend. Dr. Sean, enjoy, my dude. I'm curious what kind of run you do. Apparently, it's very different. You even get different portraits depending on like what beginning paths you take. So like if you play as a guy, I look like the military guy, but like you look like a different dude if you pick like a non-military path. The low cabinet took up the darkest corners of the room. Some papers and book lay on top, along with a spare roll of parchment. The drawer pulled out to reveal several writing implements, ink sealed with wax, and bundles of cloth. Scan the papers. One document was a troop roster. These troops belonged to the Elstric Guard or military. The names meant nothing, but the remarks describing at least 5 regiments was too much for a simple guard. My name was included and crossed out several times along with Willard's. He was indicated for the 1st regiment, but that indication was struck out. My uncle was building up an army. For what purpose, and where was its men and women stationed? These documents raised questions, but not answers. Rooted around in the drawer, discover something? Through the jumble of papers, inkwells, and fabric bundles, I felt something hard and sharp. A small, thin dagger bladed in both sides. In the faint light, I could make out dried flecks of red that marred the beauty of the iron blade. Is that a witch dagger? Move away from the low cabinet and to the high cabinet. A great set of shelves filled with drawers stood there, daunting. There would be no time to go through each drawer. Check them at random. Brought me a wave of nausea crashing over me so strongly that I nearly fell to the floor. I closed it again and opened another, the same sickening feeling. This time Mona. I was reading that. She hit her tail against the spacebar. Oh my god. Oh no. Well, it said there was a statue of something. I'm assuming it was like the statue of a martyr. I thought it said like Saint something or other. I guess spacebar closes dialogue. Is this the dagger he killed my dad with? Oh. The murder weapon, perhaps. Good call. Well, I have 1 point left to open this box, so I might as well spend it. Felt a small click on top of the box. Inside, I found a small pouch of coins. Quickly, I took the pouch and hid it amongst the folds of my outfit. As I did, a single crown loosened and fell on the rug at my feet. I held my breath as it felt. The thick fabric silenced its impact, and I exhaled. Examine the box. I don't know if that was worth it, but... Whoa. Whoa. That's hard to do. That's a fancy effect. All right, now somehow we have to get back down. Now somehow we have to get back down. It's like seconds too early on that move. I can't believe I gathered all these ingredients and then like can't just cast the spell. Clipped it for you if you want to read what you missed. Yeah, I would do that. I found all I needed to. I decided to escape the keep and decide my next move. Oof, that was a little close. Let's take a look at that clip. Boop, 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 boop. Statue of the Virgin Mary resting in a drawer. I quickly shut the drawer and stepped away. All right. So it is basically what I thought. No, it's all good. I got exactly what I needed from that. Wait, should we try talking to this ghost again? I've seen her, but she did not survive. I cannot accept that. She would find a way. She would know, for I'm no great actor. I must follow her path. Moving right through a closed door. I did not know what he intended to do, but I realized that whatever it was, he'd already done it. There was no way to know his fate or if any of this was real at all. Did we go back to the party or did we just go out the front door? I should go home for a rest and consider my next move. Wow, I can't believe that, man. I got all these ingredients to slip around and I did not need it at all. What a goddamn waste. I bet that would have been so easy. Is there a back entrance? No dungeons? Well, we'll never know now. I guess not really that I saw. Side or back entrance when you go in. Yeah, I wasn't sure about that because I didn't notice it when I went around the house. But then just as I was like clicking inside, I thought I saw something. As I arrived home, the events of the ball lingered on my mind. Was I losing my grip on reality? The phantoms had taunted me. Were they real or imagined? Could I control my access to the realm of the dead, or was I being pulled between it and that of mortals? I had no doubt that rumors of my demeanor had filtered through the network of nobles linked to the ball. Their opinions mattered little to me. Decreased trust 14. My success weighed heavy on me, an army to stamp out my uncle's enemies. Was the witch, my mentor, in grave danger? Was the queen herself in danger? I couldn't stand against an army. Could I raise my own in time? Did I have allies? Who could I possibly trust but myself? I needed more power. I needed to bring my father's murderer to justice.
Wake up! Time is running short.
Why am I in this childhood bedroom? A familiar fear gripped me. I was in trouble with my father. I was in my room, but the furniture was laid out like when I was a child.
Why must you always waste your time? More work and less play, child. Tidy up your toys now and do your schoolwork. Juliana, take your child in hand. These things matter not. He shall turn out fine after all. There are more pressing matters. Armies are mustering. We must be careful. Our studies must be kept secret. Can Aldous be trusted anymore? What would you two know? You got us killed, you fools. I should seek counsel from my brother, Gervais. He's the one who caused our demise. Look to those closest to you. Focus on your own safety. Do not trust the Wolf of Mars.
I don't.
Time is short.
I most certainly do not trust the Wolf of Mars. Chapter 11, Awaken. I awoke from a fevered dream, drenched in sweat and recalling many ghosts speaking to me, laughing and whispering and cackling and gibbering. My father at different ages has been debating with himself and in my room. Surely this was my mind struggling with the chaos brought about by necromancy. My mind burned with an all-consuming desire for revenge. Package. Quicksilver. Now, I already had that Quicksilver, so I'm a little bit confused, but... As I reached the bottom of the stairs, the doorbell rang. Albert hurried to answer it. Lord Van Elstrix is unavailable at the moment. After trading a few words with the person outside, he held the door closed and addressed me. Are you planning on leaving Marnes without saying so? That coachman is asking for you. Klaus, I believe. He doesn't have his carriage with him. He will not tell me what this is about. Should I turn him away? I'm curious why he's here. The hooded figure of the coachman stepped in and nodded to each of us. You won't regret it. I should tend to the lady of the house. As Albert left, he gave me a suspicious look. I noticed, too, that he did not go up the stairs where my mother was resting. Look, I have some friends who want to meet you. Took them long enough. You need allies, right? I've got allies. We've been watching. There's no blood loss between you and your uncle. That's right. Clear. Rushed Grim? Bad investigation? Must be eating you up. We think he's got plans. Plans we're against. I'm listening. There's a house along the road to the east gate, upwards from the market tavern. You see that daft guard mill? You've gone too far. Here on your map. Go on the door and knock like this. Oh, I know this door. I've always been trying to open it. Wrapped his knuckles on the table beside me. A heavy knock followed by 2 knocks, a heavy knock, a light knock, and finally 2 heavy knocks. 7 knocks in total. Quite a complex pattern. Do not forget, I'll be there. Some of the others too. You know what? I'm taking a screenshot of that because I don't believe it'll just let me know. The coachman turned and let himself out. No sooner had he left that Albert emerged. Not my place to say this, but you're walking a dangerous path. Please be careful, not for yourself, then for your mother's sake. You're right, I must be careful. I trust you, Albert. Were you eavesdropping? I've been concerned about you as of late. I'm loyal to the family, but know that I fear where you are staring at. What to do over here? Whatever your plans for your uncle are, I will not repeat them. Well, Mama. I trust Albrecht. I literally walked the corpse through the house, and Albrecht was like, I'm not going to ask. He's like the one person I actually do trust here. Libby, hello. Yes, I did get a haircut. I'm all cleaned up. I got more than one haircut, actually. Got a few of them tidied up. Now. Not you. You. Awaken. Let's go visit Garnet. Too early for Garnet. Actually, I want to go visit Rosario Because I want to be like, yo, my uncle is coming to attack you. With an army. Because that's information I think I only have because of my military background. Also, let's like fix our drip. Can't be wearing this fine silk outfit everywhere. Not when we have this sick red coat now. We also stole a bunch of stuff that I think if I sell it all, I'll have enough money to pay back the fishwife. Because I stole some like necklaces and rings. Locked. Oh, Rosario, where are you? I also picked up some random notes, unimportant looking papers. Yeah, nothing's gonna like translate anything more for me here. I know Svit is part of the rebellion. And Sophia is like kind of related. Here's the thing. I would trust Svit because at least he's my half-brother. I don't know that I trust Klaus. Now, I could rat those guys out to the guards. But I'm not sure that really benefits me in any way. Here you are, Svit. Hello again, Turg. Wow, you have nothing to tell me. Okay, this was a big waste of time. Nox vomica seeds. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Okay, I'm okay. I got dizzy because I wasn't wearing gloves. I was only wearing giant bearskin gloves, and they don't count.
You wanted, sir?
I'm gonna press her for more information on Zelig. No useful information here. I don't know. I mean, I guess we can try the halfway house. It's clearly this door right here. I think this is a trap. And I'd like to see what's going on at the tavern first.
Ah, there you are.
Tables need washing. Tables always need washing. No, not the couple. I see half-eaten food. There we go. Clear out all this garbage. Waste a chunk of the day.
Ah, there you are.
Join me for a drink. Suit yourself.
And I'm not trying to talk to you. I'm trying to talk to Sophia. No? Okay. Oh, Annie is upset that she says that she hasn't seen me, but that's not true. Yeah, the resistance. All right, let's sell some stuff to Pacina.
Welcome. Of course. The best prices you can find in all of Mars.
All right, what do we have to sell you? I guess, like, what will you buy? I have a lot of spears, but I actually feel like I should be keeping those for my skelebones. My skelebones? I have a lot of gloves. I definitely don't need all of these because I can't put them on them. I have 2 bodices. I don't need this fancy hat. I have 2 gold rings and a ruby necklace and a blue stone ring. I'm not going to wear that skirt. Don't need that necklace or this necklace. All this stuff is valuable. All of this stuff is valuable. This is just chaos. Carrying a bunch of plague victim stuff around. That's 140 bucks. Honestly, that's enough. I can pay off the fishwife with that. Are you raising the dead, son? I am. We have quite an army of undead, actually. We have 4 skeletons raised right now. Fishwife is not here.
Guten Tag, er.
Been asked not to take payment for this. Check back tomorrow in the room upstairs. Okay. Heretic. Yeah, I think I have to go to the resistance. I think that's... I don't know enough about how to cure this plague without the spider information, so I'm going to try this. A door to the meeting house stood resolutely before me. There was a trick to it, a code. Did I remember it? I knocked. Oh my god, see? There's a reason I took a screenshot of this, because I knew they were going to be cheeky about it. A heavy knock. Followed by 2 light knocks. Then a heavy knock. Then a light knock. And then 2 heavy knocks. The door opened and a gruff voice invited me in. Welcome to the Resistance. As I entered the tiny building, the figures within fell silent, turning to regard me. There was little light in the room, save from which lipped and flickered from the fireplace. Hannah, Svit, Rebecca. Okay, this is the real Resistance then. Svit? The golden child, the one who had the life denied to me. Listen up, out there you might be Lord Van Elstrick, but in here you're another person who wants to see Gervais gone. Here you're not the only child of the great hero Zelig. I'm proud to call you brother, both in arms and in blood. Svit's mouth hung wide open and he stared at me wide-eyed for a moment. I never expected you would acknowledge this so openly. I've managed without our father's help, but at least some wounds can perhaps mend. Straightening up, Svit looked me firmly in the eye. Let's talk business. This is the Resistance and we're interested in information you have against our uncle. Welcome to the ranks, brother, if you'll have us. They want to meet you even if they've met some of them before. It's different when they're in here. Why'd you join the Resistance? You could say I joined when our father abandoned me. Perhaps that's why you're joining too. A death can be an abandonment. Felt that way when mother died. What is all this? The Resistance, brother. We're here to stop our uncle from harming the good people of Marnes. The leader? I want to say no one, but I know a lot of our members look up to me. I suppose considering where I come from, I represent a lot of the ideas we stood for. Helping the downtrodden, standing up to authority, keeping the privileged honest. What's your thoughts on Gervais? You're asking me, the person who stands against him, what my thoughts are? I know you might have some hesitation. Both he and I are blood, after all, but you must see how he sits in his castle and ignores the problems of his people. What do you think needs to be done about him? Remove him by any means. We can rebuild Marnes if need be. If he gets his way, there might be none of us left. So we need to destroy him and everyone who supports them. If the magical arts were safe, would you use them? Why not? We'll use any tool available. And you're building an army? You're a soldier. You looking to join? I don't know how much actual combat you've seen, but surely you could have help having a trained soldier on the battlefield. Give it some thought. I don't care about a peaceful solution. What do you think needs to be done about him? Right. Come back when you've spoken to me and we'll start the meeting. Take notes when you start. Yeah, it's helpful. I mean, I was writing as much as I could down in my my book. Troubled-looking woman held her head up high. Hey. Hannah! Good day, Lord Turk. I bet you didn't expect to see the farmer's wife opposing the Baron, but the good people have to eat, and I can skim from the stores when Isaac isn't looking. It's Hannah, if you don't remember. I'm used to people not remembering me. Even my own husband doesn't notice I'm gone most days. Well, I'm sure he notices more than you think. You're kind to say so. He loves me in his own way, but I know his heart still yearns for the one that got away. It's strange that you're the one joining our ranks, but I won't stir up gossip from a bygone time. You call me being here strange. Why? You're Juliana's son, and I'm Isaac's wife. Before your father came along, there was another man in your mother's heart. But you nobles don't always follow your hearts, do you? The resistance. I suppose we resist. Why did you join? Whenever Svit asks me to do something a bit dangerous, I ask myself what a farmer's wife has to do with politics. Maybe that's just it. I'm a farmer's wife. My father sold me off to my husband, or as good as, seeing as I didn't have much choice. I'm sick of men throwing their authority around. Rolstein's always been led by great women, though. The queen is a great symbol for men like you to point at and say how good we are to our women, only to treat them like servants in our own homes. Well, fair. Who's the leader? Svit likes to think he's not the leader, but I see how people look up to him. I wish we did have no one in charge, like he says, but the truth is plain as day. What are your thoughts on Gervais? He's a big head on his shoulder and not a lot of sense on how to use it. He doesn't care about the people, only about himself. He's losing sight of his duty. What do you think needs to be done? The others are for planning things I'm not comfortable with, but sometimes you have to do things you don't like. We might need something that will take him out and all of his supporters. Does that include my Isaac? What about your mother? The doctors at the hospital? What would happen to the patients? Who would be left? It's not so simple. Okay. Klaus? I've put my head on the life suggesting we bring you in, so don't make me regret it. It's my job to keep order here, so mind your manners. This is the resistance. Also, my house. We're not happy with Gervais in power. It's rough for you being his nephew and all, but put that aside and we'll get along fine. Why did you join the resistance? That's my business. You mind yours? I thought we were friends.
Coachman.
You best think again. Svit calls a lot of the shots. I owe him a special thanks, so I don't challenge him. I don't like him not telling me why he joined. That's as suspicious as hell. Your thoughts on Gervais? I hate his guts, him and his whole group. That includes you a bit. From what I hear, though, you're a bit all right for a noble. He's got some big plans we don't know about yet, and those plans probably don't care much about those of us at the bottom. What do you think needs to be done? String him up on the gallows. Or worse. What do you think about turning to drastic measures? Set the keep on fire? Bring in the Venetians? Radical weapons? Like cannons and that, or like quality black powder from the east? Something the academics have made with their science? Oh my god, can I cast a plague on his army? Certainly you can't mean necromancy. Look where that got us. You of all people should know better than that. What's worse than stringing them up? Hang the lot of them, all the nobles? But you're the problem? You want to put them on display for the whole town? Make quite a show. Okay. There's much to think about.
Yes.
Rebecca. On the dock workers. Oh, yeah. What's the resistance about? It's about resisting. Why did you join? I know you're his nephew and all, but Gervais sits there in the castle. The people are out here struggling. The docks are a mess. You ever been out the East Gate? They've got it bad. Nobles and merchants are taking the workers for all they can and living fat off their labor. Take no offense. Actually, no, take full offense. Your whole family's part of the problem. I work an honest job. Yeah, you work at Garnet's. I've seen people at their worst. You know how it is. Who's the leader? That's, we're not like that. Why did you join? Oh, right. What are your thoughts on Gervais? He's up to something. What can be done? We could turn to drastic measures. I don't know what you're thinking, and I don't like the sounds of it. There's some weapons that make the situation worse. All right, so Svit's the only one who's like totally cool with necromancy. And I do have information for this meeting, but I haven't really had a chance to give it to anybody yet. Klaus beckoned towards the empty chair that completed the circle. Eyes darted between me and Svit as though uncertain who would start speaking first. I wasn't about to serve them my information on a platter. Thank you for coming on short notice. I wish more of us could have made it, but we were unprepared for the information we received last night. His entire disposition changed. Whatever he felt toward me had evaporated. He exuded the qualities of a fair and seasoned leader. We've learned that Turg here has information of use for us. That, combined with the access to Gervais, made us decide that he would make a good target for recruitment. Me and Cedric were here last night. Klaus, too. I've had my eye on him for a while anyway. What kind of information does Turg have? Tell us what you know. I don't know that I need to, like, milk them. I mean, these are ultimately, like, the allies I'm gonna have. Seemed I didn't have any choice. What information would I tell? Either explain what I discovered in the office, which was the information they likely wanted, or tell them that Gervais had my father killed. If anyone would listen, they would. Gervais is assembling an army. It's what I fear. I've seen them arriving under darkness. I guess I could tell them about the military plans, because that might save Rosario. This is ill news, though not a surprise. Yeah, they're planning to move on the crown. A coup! This we did not expect. We can't hope to stand up against the forces he can muster, not unless we act fast. We'll have to think about this. It'll help. In the meantime, we have some information in return. Gervais murdered Zelveg. Yes, I know this. Of course, I already knew that. I'd heard it from my father's own lips. This I know, but I can't prove it. Thank you for the information. I think it'll help our efforts here. In return, of course, you may consider yourselves in our ranks. There's work to do. We plan to ambush a company of soldiers leaving town on the North Road this evening. Meet us at the windmill on the farm. Come in a disguise. Of course, a disguise made sense. A hat and a fake mustache would suffice. I just needed some scissors to make the mustache from my own hair. And of course, I should turn up alone since my undead forces were to be kept secret from my new allies. Taking my scissors, I cut a lock of my own hair and formed it into the shape of a mustache for use in the disguise. Together with a simple hat or a tricorn would be sufficient to disguise my identity in combat. All right. Tricorn hat and a fake mustache. Fake mustache and a tricorn hat. Look what I already have, baby. We should wear a party dress. No one would expect that. We can do that. Why not? I mean, I should probably wear leather armor. Trust -1. The gentry really distrust me, but the outcasts love me, and the military like me a lot. This evening at the windmill. North of the city? Farmfield's north of the city. Part of me is wondering if I should open the, open my gates. You must be inside your house within the city limits or a tunnel, crypt, or cave to advance time. Well, hell, if I'm gonna do this, then let's go out through the tunnel. Oh, a distant caw echoed in the air. Grew larger and larger in the form of a crow. Request your aid. Come to us again. Is it wise to speak in the open? I care not. Let them hear you squawk with crows. They will not understand. 5 men hunters sent to kill the wolf because the wolf has claws and teeth. They wait for us unaware, but I am always aware, yet we cannot face them alone. Why does my uncle hate you? She was a woman once, named Rosario, left a scarred general in a war that left him with horrors. Horrors represented. He sent her away on a ship, but though through Hecate she survived.
You already know. I am a messenger for the woman in the woods. The one you have met. A witch.
Come to our aid tonight. Bring your bone warriors. Take this wisdom and kill them. Then use them. The crow hopped forward and plucked a vellum scroll from the small satchel attached to his leg. It released the scroll from its beak, dropping it to the ground in front of me. The parchment felt rough to the touch as I retrieved it. It matched a page in my spellbook named Awaken. It provided a mean in which the dead body could be compelled to move again to make zombies, more powerful than the feeble skeletons I had produced. Required holy water and a witch's knife and an effigy stuffed with the hair of a living person. Could probably make this effigy myself or find a craftsperson. The hair I could surely procure easily enough. My dreams of future power were cut short by the agitated words of the crow. Come tonight. Tonight they will move. The bird's stilted speech cut short mid-sentence. It let out a loud series of relaxing sounds that finally appeared to relax. Caw. When coming to Rosario's aid tonight, I would need to bring a disguise to keep my identity secret. Alright. First things first. Crack open the book. Through this ritual, a necromancer may bring the dead body back to action while its flesh remains, so that the reanimated corpse may do their bidding. The ritual requires an effigy stuffed with the hair of a living person, and that's bound to their life force. The celebrant should call upon Loco and Geddes and blow the air from their mouth into the nose and mouth of the doll. They should baptize the doll with holy water using the name of the living person. So I might not be able to raise those bandits back to life, but I will be able to raise the guy who was in the bear costume. Place the baptized doll on the chest of the corpse, whose head is laid to the north and its body's positioned if Jesus was crucified. Drive a witch's knife through the doll and into the corpse. This will transfer the vitality from the living person into the corpse. So, how do I make this doll? Who could even make this doll is the next question. Oh, my corpse is gone. Files? I don't know I had files down here. Take these. Furthermore, what kind of holy water do I need? Just holy water, period. I mean, I have like a needle and thread, and I have scissors. Ha! Carefully sewed the cloth into a rough but functional doll. It was empty, of course. Requires the hair of a living human. What about the scissors now? I don't want to get rid of my fake mustache, right?
Where is that damn cook? Zelig will
Cat?
be back soon, and there's nothing to eat.
Firewood. Yeah, like obviously I have the fake mustache, but I don't want to lose the fake mustache. I'm gonna see what happens here if I combine them. No. Hair of a living human. Tonight. This is the evening. This is the night. Oh, I cannot risk using my own hair in the effigy due to unknown side effects. I should obtain some from a townsperson through sleight of hand or perhaps seduction. Xandros! You're just the drunk I'm looking for. But apparently I cannot talk to you right now.
Well, hello there.
You're pretty easy on the eyes. Why don't we have some fun? I meant Vittoria. Or both of you together. Quite the adventurous one. It don't work for us. We don't do anything like that. She's practically my sister. All right, Vitch, let's ditch this guy then. She stood up and put her strong hands on my shoulders, holding me in place as she went in for the kill. Her tongue was like a dart, parting my lips and finding mine. My hands found her ass as I pulled her closer, gulping for air at the scant moments that her lips parted. Eventually, though I had lost all sense of time, she pulled me away with just a whisper. Just a taste for now. I've got ale to drink, maybe some other day. Man.
Hello.
Never gonna bang anybody. Maybe Annie's at the library. Ida, whale. Oh! No! PETA's dead! He's dead. He caught something in the hospital. I saw him talking to you, but I guess you're no physic. You should have done something. PETA was always hunted for treasure in bad places. Oh, damn, dudes. Oh, man. I can't believe that. Poor kid. I found Annie much drier when I had last seen her. She didn't look in my direction as I approached. Come to make amends, have you? I guess I owe you an apology. I should have done more to catch you. It was a moment of weakness. Well, that's a start. You look bored. I'm here to suggest another date to liven your mood. You're infuriating when you're right. I've been bored to tears. What's your offer? A stroll in the northern woods with an afternoon picnic? Meet you outside the northern gate after midday. Let's avoid the water this time. All right, well. Couldn't finish one conversation without rolling into another.
Hello.
Planning on taking Annie on another date. I hope you'll at least make it pleasant. Plan something nice. You have a suggestion? Took Sophia on an afternoon luncheon by the sea. Carlette from the market set everything up for a fee. Nothing extravagant, but a nice spread. I'm sure gifts would go a long way. Abraham is parting with some of his collection. Thank you, Diedrich. Well, while I'm here, I might as well talk to Abraham then.
Good to hear.
I hear you're selling books. I believe I have just the thing. He grinned at me. In the glistening teeth, I sensed a desire for coin. Annie was at this very shelf not long ago, admiring a volume of Shakespeare's sonnets. How much? A gift? Thank you, most kind. Wow, I thought for sure he was gonna, like, fleece me for a crazy amount of money. Annie was wet the last time we saw her. Yeah, she fell in the water. Maybe we pushed her. It's not really clear. The merchant smiled as I stepped towards her stall. Her lips carried a smirk as though she's been expecting me. Come to favor my stall again. I hear you've added picnics to your repertoire. I've not learned me French, but if you mean I set up luncheons for romantic, that's part of the service now. What are you interested in? A modest spread. 6 crowns then? Deal. After some discussion, the details were set. A sensible arrangement would await Annie and I in the woods near the Worth Wall. She smiled as the coins clinked into her palm. I'm sure your companion will be well pleased. All right, well, let's go on a date. We got a lot of stuff to do here. Figure there was a time limit on disease. The only problem was, like, I went to go do it, and then it was like, if you don't actually have a way to fix this problem, then it's going to get way worse. And I didn't know what in the book would actually... Like, I didn't have the recipe for how to fix the plague. I just knew how to, like, unwind the magic. So, it's possible what I actually did was not cause a plague to break across the entire town. Hard to say, though. Annie standing beyond the gate, her eyes felt the warm sun against her skin.
Again.
Picked a fine day, the sun is splendid. We walked hand in hand around the city's imposing perimeter wall, past the edge of the farm and into the outskirts of the northeast forest. As we walked, Annie chattered away annoyingly about trivial matters. I felt a great weight on my brain like a dense fog. The wind in the trees whispered things to me which I could not catch, and I saw predatory eyes watching me from the undergrowth beyond the trail. When we arrived at a small glade where the path branched. Uh-oh, I hope Clarence Pugh doesn't haunt us. I wonder if I'm going to have to, like, fight off some wolves or something. Annie grabbed me by the arm and motioned towards the shape of the base of the oak. A large bulb which had unfurled and dropped to the ground. The purple color of the plant was vibrant, though brownish blotches of rot crept around its fringes. I've read about this plant. Let's have a look. I'm almost certain this is a gith bowl. I've heard it only blooms once every 2 decades. What luck that we've spotted it. I suppose we've been luckier to see it in full bloom. What properties does it have? One source claims that eating its pistils will imbue a person with great strength and insight. Others say that its scent draws foul beasts and demons, that death visit whoever tries to pick its petals, and even that its pollen can make a person mad with visions. I'm not sure any of these accounts believe you, but with a curious bulb just the same. Sounds valuable. I'm afraid this one is far too gone to be much worth. Oh well, we're lucky to have seen it. Annie walked ahead, but I lingered studying the plant. Its color seemed to shift under my gaze, and the patches of rot pulsed with ruddy flesh. The wind picked up the faint voices murmuring through the leaves. 'Tis a shame to lose the chance, but a grace as well. This price does not need paying. I shook off the unwelcome portent and returned to Annie. Our walk brought us to the picnic site, and the weather seemed intent on cooperating for now. We had, of course, stayed within a safe distance of the city walls, which loomed overhead a short distance away. I could see a guardsman leaning on his musket above us, beginning to doze off in the sun. Carlotte had prepared a small luncheon basket for us here, but the selection seemed sparse and uninspired. Some bread, a small carafe of wine, accompanied by a tray of fruit and cheese. That sounds good. What a lovely surprise to have waiting for us. We made ourselves comfortable, and the staccato movement of a small beetle walking across the log caught my eye. It seemed familiar somehow. I couldn't place from where or when. The creature's hard shell was cracked and oozed with a strange growth, as though something were trying to burst from within. I watched as it tumbled off the log and made its way into the damp safety of some wildflowers. The dates with Annie are the best. I see the most crazy stuff when we go out with Annie. Shaping up to be a fine day. Her voice pulled me back to the picnic, but I saw that she was mulling something over, failed due to trust test. I enjoyed your company, but there are some things I need clarity about. You're a charming man. It's no surprise you draw attention from others. But that wayward soldier in the Docks Tavern, Vittoria? Oh, that just happened. Your conduct there was open for all to see. Does she mean anything to you? Slightly irked by the tone of this mortal, I began to carefully formulate a response. Wound her. Make it smart. Make it sting. Wound the silly girl. We're really good at Constitution. Quell my rage and make a restrained answer. Managed to hold my tongue, though Annie scarcely deserved it. A momentary lapse, Annie, a flirtation. This was before you and I ever met, was it not? It definitely wasn't an hour ago. I'm not sure that it was, but I thank you. Good, better. I've had so many preoccupations lately, things that pull you away. I'm willing to stand beside you and help you in this difficult time, but I need to know if you harbor true affection for me. The wind picked up again, slashing at my ears with its hissing discord. Now is this time. The silly girl asks to burden you, asks to steal your freedom. Do not let her. The voice was firm and convincing. I'll spend a point on this. Darling, of course I care for you. You're a salve against those dark things you mentioned. I might even guess that you are the reason I've survived them. I'm happy to hear it, Turg. I do apologize for making you say it, but sometimes it's nice to have it said. Another murmur passed through the branches and brambles of the forest, but by surprise, Annie turned in that direction as well. What was that? Ah, must have been the wind. Here, I have something for you. A book of poetry. It's lovely. I enjoyed this volume for ages. You really... Before Annie could finish the thought, the murmuring grew to a plaintive voice, one which we both recognized. You're here. Someone's here at last. I'm so afraid. I don't remember how I got here. Poor little Ida must have gotten lost in the wood. Something's amiss. This doesn't seem like something Ida would do, and the wind has only just changed tenor. Be careful. Something's odd. Annie stood up and ran into the forest, peering into the undergrowth ahead. Just as I rose to my fellow, a splash of color caught my eye. Resting among the ferns and undergrowth, a large purple bulb grew defiant. The howling wind changed once more, and this time coalesced into a voice I had heard somewhere in a distant dream. The girl matters not. She is a mere toy, but you must grow stronger, more adept. If you follow her, you will be bled, you will be gashed and torn. Her insignificant life or your strength, upon which so much rests, you must choose. By now, Annie had disappeared into the woods. I looked back from where she had gone, back to the purple bulb and back again. A shriek pierced the ear. Annie's voice. I need hair from a living being. But if Annie dies, she would make a good zombie. My father told me not to trust this voice specifically. All right, claim the flower. As I walked closer to the unearthly purple bulb, a gurgling began to rumble from the underbrush. It grew louder and more liquid until a group of ghouls emerged from the ferns, their bodies contorted and lurching. Oh, wow. Okay. Don't mind me, just casting black magic. Good old Clarence Pugh. He's always here for me. Magic missile. Magic missile. Magic missile. Man, this guy really doesn't want to die. As my last flow slumped to the earth, another scream erupted where I last saw Annie. This is the cost, dear Turg, but do not worry. You will be able to bring this mortal lover back, if you must, more glorious than before. I hurried to claim the magical bulb, lest it rot away while I delayed. I don't trust the voices, but I do go for the flowers, yeah. As I reached towards the plant, the screams continued. I shut them from my mind easily. The bulb gave way with surprising ease, and the petals unfurled, revealing the vibrant golden pistils. They radiated a strange, unnatural energy, and with them in hand, I finally decided to make my way towards Annie, though by now the roars had dissipated, or at least echoed in the wind. I closed Annie's eyes, crouched and ran my palm across the bloodied face, ensuring that those lovely eyes would never again take in the world. A feeling welled up inside of me, and I could not tell if it was grief or something more possessive. I imagined futures where I might call upon the great powers to return Annie to me, and then I wondered if I would even want to. I took the plant pistols in my hand and bit into them, somewhat curious as if they might be poisonous. Instead, I felt a sudden surge of power, and thoughts of Annie faded behind my mind. Mana increased to 10. Yeah, see, I already have so much mana is sort of the problem. I could not yet awaken this corpse. Should I bring it somewhere? Damn it. Spent all those money on books. Father also died. How skilled could he have been? True, true, true. You raise a good point. You raise a very good point there. Bring it to a morgue. I don't know that I even need to do that. Sybil, you got a lock of hair.
Hello again.
How am I meant to do this? What if I just put like the scissors in my hand?
Oh, hello again.
Alert the guard.
Hello.
Well, at least now I can go about
Ah, there you
whoring myself through town again.
Well, hello there.
Blah, 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 blah. The fishwife in town yet? Hello. Where am I about to get this hair from, man? Don't get arrested for suspicion of murder. I'm going to be disappointed. It would make a lot of sense.
Excuse me.
Does the apothecary have hair? What about general store?
Welcome. Of course. The best prices you can find in all of Mars.
Gustav? You're bald.
How can I help you, boy?
It does have to come from a living person, yeah. So I don't think it's going to let me clip my mom's because we didn't want to use her own here because we like didn't know how safe it was. Basically, they were like, there might be side effects. But it said I could also get it through sleight of hand. What about the homeless?
Can you spare a coin for a boy? Thank you kindly.
Fresh bread, rolls, B-rocks. What can I interest you in?
Aha! Aha. The docks are really busy right now. Behind the academy, there is a noble quarter. I feel like there's often people here with no witnesses around. Beautiful day we're having, eh, Jamila? No, you don't need to leave. All right, what about you, Rosina? Are you having a beautiful day? Oh, you sure are. Oh, you are in such a... Where did you go? What? Wait. What? What in tarnations? Guess there's still a lot of people walking around here. No, there's Rosina. All right, I bet you're my man. I gotta do this. There we go. We got it. It is stuffed. So, out the north gate. Along this path. Up into the woods. Here's sweet dear Annie. This is probably as safe a spot to do it as any, right? I felt exposed in the harsh light of day to produce the effigy I had bound with Ivet's life force. With the cloth doll in hand, we both felt so small and inconsequential compared to the sun high above. The corpse at my feet baked in the warmth of day. I felt the energies pulsating in my hand just as much as the pulsing of my own heart. There was a presence whipping about me. Loco or Geddes, perhaps? These spirits I would invoke from whatever tradition they belonged. They played in my arms, drawing bumps from my flesh where I could feel their touch. Or was it simply my imagination? It mattered not. I needed a way to prepare the corpse. Which way was north? Taking the magnetic compass from my bag, I aligned my bodies precisely upon the northern heading. I knew that compass would come in handy. There would be no error in my conduct of this ritual. I had come fully prepared. I laid out the arms and feet as though they were crucified. Taking the effigy in one hand and the witch's knife in the other, I knelt over the corpse. I placed the cloth of the chest of the corpse and held the point of the knife over its center. The presence pressed itself against me and I felt giddy in its powerful aura. I felt light and inconsequential as though guided by a mighty and unseen hand. I did that thing where I forgot to read the book again. I like that the bird's story has a different version, and I wonder what that would look like. I know I have to blow into the nose and mouth of the doll and sprinkle it with holy water. Honestly, I kind of want to try this. Though in that story, he raised like a feral ghoul. So probably not the best idea. Geddes, I yield to you. A deep rumbling carried faintly from some distant point. Loco, take me. I heard no sound, but felt the earth below me tremor faintly. I'm gonna try the bird stuff. Oh, man. Spend 2 points to recall them correctly. Mortuos resurge et imperium sequi sub puoni exili alternate. Drive the knife into the corpse. The witch's blade glowed in my hand, and I thrust it down and pierced the effigy in the corpse with one swift motion. A euphoria washed over me as I felt the vitality of Ivet flow around me. I swayed and felt my body overcome by some force, but I did not care. What flowed out flowed in as well. Every part of me washed into a seething bright light of pleasure and wonder. I traveled up my arm and down my spine and into my feet. I wondered if I truly had an arm, a spine, or feet, or anything that made me me. All of my being was replaced by ecstasy, by the calling of some great rhythmic music, and the smell of smoke as if by a great bonfire. I danced. What choice did I have? I left what was left of my being, becoming one with the pounding music, and I danced for what seemed like hours. Mana increased to 13. That's +3. When the feeling started to fade, I tried so hard to hold on to it, to call it back, but it ebbed and went away, and with it the feelings and passion, the dance, the music, and the light. The wheezing was the first thing I heard. Then I saw it, my creature. Air passed through it like a rotten bellows, and its eyes watched me, unblinking and entirely devoted. Sweat covered me, and though I stood where I was before, my muscles ached with movement. A presence lingered nearby, just visible. Long hands reached for the effigy, but dissipated into shadow the moment before touching it. A roar echoed in my mind, then it was just me and my creation standing stoutly beside me. Raised the zombie, the first of many. No, might as well give you a sword. Might as well give you a sexy bodice, too. Or a party dress. Should I give you Mom's party dress? No. I'll give you a bodice, though, and some leather boots. Unfortunately, I need that tricorn hat. I could give you these pants. Those booty shorts. Definitely a witch, but what kind? A forest witch? A water witch? A sand witch? So now comes the really hard part. I have to not be spotted leading this zombie. Watch the quest for the Holy Grail. I'm a bit rusty to diagnose witches. Yeah, we also kind of used a weird ghost there, yeah. As long as I stay away from the gate, I think I'll be fine. And then I can also get this guy. Damn it. His corpse is gone. I guess we were just like meant to know the animate ritual by the time we found him. And sadly, we did not. All right. Well, we'll bring her into the tunnel. At the very least, we could keep her safe in there. I'm so sad. I was hoping we would have that Frenchman as well. Like, we clearly had him. Like, we knew his name and everything. I wonder if YouTube's going to be mad or happy that I killed Annie. It's a good question. I don't know if I'm mad or happy about it. I don't need those scissors anymore. I'd like to equip that wand. 22 mana. And, yeah, I guess we'll keep this open for right now. Sugar, sugar, sugar. Didn't really kill Annie, not the fault it happened in the forest while picking flowers. That's true. It wasn't technically my fault. All right, I'm going to save here. I'm going to pass into the afternoon. I'm going to go back home. I'm going to go out the tunnel because I didn't realize that I would need to go that way. And we'll go out with a fake mustache on. Yeah, Annie is not okay. She is not okay, Annie. Where does this equip? Held in hand / weapon. Gloves. Necklace. Maybe we'll just like get an event. Oh, maybe I combine it with the tricorn hat? No. Maybe I have to hold it? Super not clear. There's meant to be 5 guys outside of Rosario's. So I feel like 3 zombies or a zombie and 2 skeletons is pretty good. I am really curious, like, did that Bard's incantation give our zombies any extra boost as well? Oh man, she's so slow though. Did I ever bring back Skeletor? Yeah, he's here. Skeletor and Bones are here, and then Bob and Bone Daddy Nagash are on like the other side of town. They're in the southern forest. Here we go. Here's the windmill.
Oi.
What a good outfit. A rare smirk crossed his face. Very good. It's time to move. The soldiers have left the city. He makes a sound of an owl. 5 grim-faced conspirators, men and women, issued from inside the house. This guy doesn't look like he's in much of an outfit. Shoot, I should have taken my gun. Crossbow. Oh, okay. Sword. Sword. These guys have like helmets and stuff too. Spear. Schwartzward. Klaus is a sword. Yeah, gun would have been smart. A little close, so I'm gonna just try to line people up here where I can. Soldier, 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 soldier. Reload. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna get in like a formation like this. Curious. They've also opted to like end early here, so that they stay a little bit out of range. Oh, maybe not all of them though. Damn, we're a bruiser. It's 2 points to attack. I could move and attack. I think I will. Man, oh my god, we hit like an absolute Mack truck. Kertang. You'll reload. Good hit. Killed him. Okay, that's decent. I am going to get cut up here pretty bad, though. You're going to get cut up really bad. In fact, you're probably dead. This is the price we pay, man. Resistance gets blood. Make them bleed. They're down. Good hit with that crossbow. Second hit. Nailed it. All right, we lost one. We stood panting and looking about. We'd won the fight, though not without injury. A small victory, but a step in the right direction. Perhaps you could hide these bodies out of sight on the road? How about behind that big barn? I'll send some people over later and we'll take care of them. Oh, yeah, I'll totally get rid of all these bodies. Don't you guys worry about it. Don't worry about me. Yes, sir. I will definitely bring all these people back to life after I loot them of all their stuff. Really good swords. Can I do this? I don't know their names. Oh my god. Oh. I felt the light. It was dim and distant this time, so was the music. I danced, but it was a listless dance, as though I was dangled by strings rather than guided by spirit. The music was soon gone, and I longed for that ecstatic feeling. Hey, there's a giant wolf here. Uh-oh. The ritual was routine to me now, and I went through the motions to obtain my new minion. So I think that, like, 3, 1, 4. Three, 1, 4. I don't know what the bard's magic does. I like how they're like, we're going to come back for all these bodies. And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. It's cool that like all of them also like formed ghosts as that happened. Oh yeah, I guess I could check to see what like those newer ones were like in comparison. Annie, I'd love to give you a sword instead of that spear. Oh, I guess I could also check. She's a 1-2-2. Who knows? Ah. Spear, zombie soldier. You can have a sword. Maybe I'll give these guys swords as well. I have a sword on? Yeah. All right. Strength 304. Oh, you think they got +1 agility when I cast with the bird spell? I think you're right. All right, everybody follow me into the woods where we will lay a trap of zombies. The stag is just like, yeah, don't worry about it. Let's quick save here. As I near Rosaria's hut, I saw soldiers pressing towards her. Though she stood defiant, her crow swooped in and shrieked impotently. We moved to help. Yeah, I'm rolling in with a posse right now. These poor soldiers. I love Turg with this mustache on. Honestly, it's a great look. I gotta make sure that Rosario is like okay, but also I can just do magic. Right, I'm gonna have to activate all of these minions if I want them to go in. This, I guess, is the funny thing, is I actually have to spend mana to let these guys fight. Skeletor, to the front! Bones, you're up. Zombie Annie, after you. I'm straight out of magic. That took everything I had to actually get these guys going. Rosario is dead instantly. Maybe, maybe not. Wow, I might have bought her just enough time. Honestly. Yeah, we're really good at hitting things, so. Do I have to activate all of these skeletons again to get them to come up and do anything? Oh my god, I do. Ah, okay, but it doesn't move like 3 AP to use the spear. Okay. Just want to block this path. The attack's so funny with the spear. I guess Zombie Annie. Get in here and do some damage. How much does this cost? 3 MP. Okay. You've got a sword. You have a spear. No, you're going to be out of range, though. Rosario, I'm just going to push you into the back here and let you chill. My Wraith will move up that way. Now, all my guys are going to get wrecked, but that's fine. I can bring them all back to back to life. Unless I die fighting this one guy. Okay, that would have been a really sick, twisted irony, so... Miss. Activate this minion. Hit. Spears are nice, but you can only use them like once, basically. Nice, 100 HP. That guy's 1 HP left? Okay, he's dead. I'm gonna move so that my other zombies can also start coming up here. Shoot. Okay, you're fine. Oh man, that ghost is so good. Get him, Bones. Give her the bones. Nice. Zombie Annie with the sword does big damage. Thank you, Turg. We were in trouble until you arrived. She gestured then to my minions who stood still and resolute. I see your powers are developing. That's good, but you must be careful. Your path is dangerous. Not only are the Baron's men watching, but you should also be mindful of jealous eyes from beyond the veil. Dark forces may wish to influence you to their own advantage. Could you not use your magic to defeat those soldiers? Yes, if we had warning, those men would have found nothing here but a moonlit glade and desire to return to their homes. Or they might have found misery and gruesome death before they ever reached this spot. But they caught us ill-prepared, and we were 3 occupied. It's good that the Crow took it upon itself to contact you. They say dark forces may seek to use me, but how do I know you're not such a dark force? She laughs. You're right to be careful, but you've had our help for some time, and I think you know we're genuine. Besides, we're the enemy of your enemy, are we not? Why were you attacked? It's no secret your Gervasi seeks to destroy us. Of late, his forces are getting more numerous and bold. Soldiers flock to the city. The Baron is planning something. Do I tell them this? Yeah, why not? He plans an army to move on the crown. She nods, her face betraying deep concern. What about these bodies? Use them as you see fit. I will warn you of the creatures of the forest should you need some time. And you were attacked, right. All right. Well. I'll take your money. But I might as well just awaken you. Because you have swords. Annoyingly, I do have to bring Skeletor back to a circle. But I can probably just get someone to do that for me. All right, everybody get the hell out of the way. Move to here, please. All followers move to here. All followers move to here, please. Take money. Awaken. No chance. Take money. Awaken. No chant. Bones. Pick up the nearby body of Skeletor. Everybody follow me. This is quite... We got quite a gang now. The first option is to use the Bard's magic, but I don't have enough points to remember how to cast it every time. It basically gives the zombies +1 agility, it seems like, when I use it. I mean, this squad is definitely going to draw attention. Could I do the dungeon with this many troops? I probably could. That's quite the idea. There's a couple big monsters in the dungeon, but they only have so many attacks, right? And I'm gonna need to figure out, like, more spell pages, and the dungeons might be where that is. Those 20 zombies behind me following me? Never saw any of them before in my life, or my unlife. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think we're gonna take these guys up. We're gonna check out that dungeon. And we're gonna see, I mean, the Gretchen, or whatever they called, they were no problem. It was only the vampires and the giant troll that, like, stopped us. But that's because we were solo at the time. I didn't have any meat shields. If I have meat shields, then I can cast lightning bolt or the poison bolt or whatever it is. I think this will work. I think that's what we do at the beginning of the next episode. As we wait to figure out whether or not our army can take on something, or, you know, whether or not we gotta just, like, wait to learn some more spells. That's gonna be it for now. Come back and join us in the next one. Until then.